I'm at SeaWorld San Antonio for the first time in 2026, and again, it is jam-packed. There's a crowd almost everywhere you look. Here's a possum. And here is your reveal of Barracuda Strike. And I don't notice too much of anything new, but the fence looks like it probably finished being constructed. I see some of the pieces that were around the blue tarp are not really there anymore, but there is another piece of equipment in the middle of the layout. It's very small, and I'm gonna get a closer look at all of this. I'll let you know more about what has changed as I get closer, so let's go. Well, getting a little closer hasn't helped too much yet. I see the genie lift there in the middle. I see buckets on some of the footers. I don't notice anything much new for the lift hill. And in this corner over here, I see that construction wall with windows is still in the same spot it was, I think, more than a month ago, but let's go get even closer. One of the reasons why it could be a little stale for the last week on construction is because, again, it's the holidays. I'm sure the crew got some rest because of New Year's Eve and New Year's, fresh off of Christmas Eve and Christmas. So it could be that not much has happened at all, or maybe there's just stuff happening closer to the station. But of course, I'm gonna swing around here past the tortoise area and let you know. Hello, crane. So there is one thing I have noticed, and before I kind of thought that this was just tape, but I realized it's definitely not just tape. There is a little bit of a lighter gray color on the track pieces in some areas on the rails, and that is definitely from them trying to smooth out the transition from one track piece to the other. I've seen this on other coasters in the past, and you can see a second section there right next to the bolts. That is so when the wheels are going around, they're not running across uneven surfaces, because that kind of friction and jostling around of the wheel assemblies will slow the train down and cause wheels to blow out. And you don't want that to happen. It's going to naturally happen over time, but you want to start out having the smoothest possible transitions between every piece of track. And I did mention in the last video that if you get 15 visits here with a pass, you have to check in for each visit. If you have 15, you're going to get an invite after February 24th to a pass holder only preview event. And while they're not saying it's for Barracuda Strike, I've asked employees here and they've said they've heard that it is gonna be something to do with Barracuda Strike. So I'm trying to get to 15. Today was my second visit, and at one visit you get a free snack. So here is the voucher that I got today for a free popcorn or pretzel. I am going to redeem this right now. I have no idea if this voucher can be used here, but these are some crazy sounding pretzels. Smoked sausage pretzel, what? Well, there it is. That one does look good, but these dogs are crazy. You can get a really good look at some of these areas that have had work done to them. That light gray area is visible on pretty much every spot. I'm imagining that the genie lift that is out here has been lifting people up to these areas to work on the track joints. Where is it? There it is. That genie lift right there. The crane back there, I'm not sure what all it's doing. I see some pieces in boxes and crates next to it, but it looks like it's done all the work that it's gonna do. And there's another genie lift down there, and this excavator is here. That I don't remember last time. They've really smoothed out all the dirt here though, so I would imagine the next steps are maybe a pathway or just more greenery. Again, no active construction over here today. We're about to go to the other side and see. All right, so this did not work at that place with the premium pretzels. I need to find a basic snack stand that's outside. All of that conduit that they were running up there appears to pretty much be done. I hear and I see active construction over here. All right. One more piece of heavy equipment is in this area though. That big front end loader. And we can see that the bolts are about to be tightened down right here. They have not been tightened just yet. Now over by the Currents gift shop, they have, or a forklift I should say, lifting up a huge wooden pole. It's kind of hard to see, but there is this red contraption holding it off the end, and it looks like they're going to be securing that in place. So some station work is being done, and there is a lot of work being done on the brake run. I'm not sure what they're installing right there, but I'm going to go get a closer look. Here's a better look at that. So I heard a weird sizzling noise. Turns out they are welding this thing. There's a guy down there at the ground welding this. And further through the station, you can see these little metal tubes sticking down at right angles. They have this blue tape covering the ends. Not 100% sure what those are for, but I would imagine going to be air flowing through them, and they must be actuating something up and down in regards to the lock-unlock mechanisms. That's my only guess. Well, we have a front row seat right here. It looks like they are adjusting these brakes, and these look to be magnetic. I'm looking at the different colors there. You can see some red and blue vertical strips there. And also a bunch of bolts on the bottom. That tells me these are the magnetic style of brakes, where the fins are going to pass through and not necessarily clamp down like friction brakes. But of course, I could be totally wrong. And I see that they're looking at me right now. Hello. Another reason I think these are magnetic brakes is because of all the electrical components that we see. And I see this gray box here on the side. I don't believe that was there too long ago, but it's got a red emergency stop button on it so that you can shut the power off. And they're measuring quite a bit. They're installing some conduit. That little silver rail there that's vertical on the side of the track spine was just installed. And I imagine this is gonna monitor the speed as the train goes by. The magnets will get closer together to stop the train as fins pass through the magnet slots. And once it's slow enough, then the gap will widen and the train will be able to move through faster. Again, it could be totally wrong, but I do see like an air supply there and a cylinder that's gonna move stuff up and down. Further back there, you see guys on a ladder dealing with a whole bunch of cables. They're still running them from the back side of the station to the front side through all of that conduit, stacking them vertically. And we also see a bunch of those wooden poles back there along the fence. I'm gonna go get a better view of that now. Okay, this has confused me for a long time because I believe this is a pathway right here, all the way through here. Like this is a pathway, but I see families that just take a stroll. There's one right there, yep. And then they go this way too, and they go right out to that main area. Like, I'm pretty sure that is not a pathway. There are our Lincoln logs. And funny enough, they use these in the station for great white. They look very familiar. But in the station for steel eel, they use square logs. And I still don't notice a chain on the lift hill. We're still missing that. But good to see construction going on with the whole station here. They were building that little area that looks like a booth with wood there. I'm gonna say that's the control booth, but we'll see. And we have markings on the ground here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right next to the lockers. Wonder what they're going to put right here. And over here by the steel eel shop, there might be more black tarps than before, but overall, nothing new. The only thing I see way up here is it looks like someone standing to the right of the steel eel shop, but can't tell if that's actually a person. Don't know. They've got a lot of materials back there though, on the right side of the steel eel shop. I am gonna keep trying to find a pretzel stand. You're gonna see it by the end of this video if I found one or not, but the channel is going to hit 40,000 subscribers this week, guys. Absolutely insane. Y'all's support has just been ramping up over the course of 2025, and it became apparent on the very last day because we broke the record for most views on the channel ever in one day. 263,000 views on December 31st, 2025, and you followed it up with 100,000+ views on January 1st, 2026. Today is January 2nd, so we are off and running. I'm gonna be coming here hopefully another 13 times before February 24th because that is the last day to check in to get enough visits, hopefully 15, to get an invite to what appears to be a Barracuda Strike preview event. I can't wait for that. I hope a lot of you are there because I'm going to try to be there. That's probably a good opportunity for you to meet me, I guess. I don't know. I will continue to bring you Six Flags Fiesta Texas updates every week. I'm going to try to get roller coaster POV filming permission there, as well as permission to film a construction update from inside the construction zone. I know I did a little bit of one before, but I think I can get a full tour of that coming soon. You'll have to stay tuned for that. And of course, I mentioned it that there is an idea for the 50,000 subscriber special YouTube video. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff in the works, but the next video that's going to be posted, I didn't get to post it last week, sorry, but it's coming. The biggest investment I ever made on the channel. Here's a couple of clips from that, just to wet your whistle. And of course, there's more coming. I have more vlogs. I have more on-ride reactions coming from SeaWorld Orlando and Busch Gardens Tampa, of course. And Universal Studios, hey, we got to talk about Velocicoaster and my reaction, as well as Stardust Racers. I got to talk about my reaction to that. That's coming up at some point. But if you learned nothing in this video, just remember these 3 things. No good deed goes unpunished. Subscribe to me on YouTube. And when you're feeling stuck in life, like our friends at Mock Rides always say, push down, pull up. That was another day in the Hennisphere.